Welcome to, where are we? Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. It's my other Sunday, right? My name is Jolene Ibanez, and I'm your worship associate today. I am joined this morning by Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw. Steve's over there. Susan's over there. There are co-music directors. Jack Kilshore is going to step in for Danielle Lewis today, who is out of town. She's our Director of Religious Exploration for Children and Youth. We all welcome you this morning. Now, some of you have been coming here for decades, and some of you are new faces for us to get to know. Some of you have been here a few times, and we're getting to know you even better. However you happen upon us this fine day, we're glad that you are here. Our minister, Reverend Wiltshire, is not leading the service today, but she has a special message for you.
Hello, Roomers and Zoomers. So, I'm out on sabbatical this summer, but I just also want you to know that I'm holding all of you in my heart. You know how much I love this community. You all rock. And I just want to extend a special welcome to anyone who may be new today. Maybe you're just visiting, maybe a friend invited you, or maybe you're just simply wondering what this whole Unitarian Universalist thing is about. However you arrived, we're glad that you're here. This community is full of thoughtful, compassionate, interesting people, and over time, I hope you'll get to know them. Finding connection in a new place can feel intimidating at first, but don't give up. Keep coming back. Join in where you can. That's how strangers slowly become friends and community. We've prepared a really meaningful service today, blending music and word in a way that we hope brings comfort and inspiration to you. So, without further ado, let's worship.
We are joined this morning by Reverend Arvid Straube. Now, he's been with us before, so for those of you who are new, he's a real treat. You're going to enjoy this. He was a UU parish minister for 35 years. He served in churches in Washington State, North Carolina, and from 2004 to 14, he was the lead minister of the first UU of San Diego. Reverend Straube earned a Master's of Arts in Divinity at the University of Chicago and a Doctor of Ministry at Meadville Lombard Theological School. In 2013, Meadville presented him with an honorary Director of Divinity. He currently has a ministry of spiritual direction and teaching. Now, I want to extend a special welcome to visitors as well. If you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope that you will find it here. We're a community of many different identities and beliefs. We're not bound together, and we're bound together not by dogmas or creeds or fears, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming, inclusive, and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. Today we come together to explore spiritual dead ends, the 5 delusory P's. Now open your hearts and find that space which is yours. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers that have helped to put this service together today. Thank you. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones, if you didn't already. And Zoomers, we invite you to say hello in the chat. Hello. As we worship today, let us acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman and Tongva peoples who seek justice and responsible stewardship. As we begin our service, we begin our worship every week with the lighting of our chalice. And as I light our chalice, you can all say the unison affirmation together. Oh, if only I had... Spirit of the church and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. This we affirm together.
Please rise and bow to your spirit. Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now, my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work towards a planet transformed by our care.
Thanks for this welcome. I always love coming here. Our opening words. We come together this morning to remind one another to rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, to take the time to look into each other's faces and see their communion, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter and silence, memory and hope is hallowed by our presence together. These are the words by my colleague Kathleen McTeague.
The songs that I'm doing today are songs that many of you know, so if you care to join in on the choruses, feel free. Your voices are welcomed. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Reading aloud to you, The Rainbow Fish, written and illustrated by Marcus Pfister. The rainbow fish was the most beautiful fish in the sea, but he never played with the other fish. I'm too beautiful, he thought. Once, a little blue fish asked for one of his shining scales, but the rainbow fish just laughed. Never, he said. After that, the other fish swam away from him. The rainbow fish was all alone. He went to the starfish for help. Why doesn't anybody like me? He asked. Go ask the octopus, said the starfish. She is very wise. The octopus said, Give away your shining scales. You won't be as beautiful, but you will have friends. I can't do that, cried the rainbow fish. Suddenly, the little blue fish was back. Please, he said. Could I have just one scale? Well, the rainbow fish thought, maybe just one tiny little scale. The little blue fish was so pleased, it made the rainbow fish feel happy. Soon all the fish came, and the rainbow fish gave away his scales one by one. Finally, he had one shining scale left. But now, as he swam off to play with his friends, he was the happiest fish in the sea. The end.
Please join us in singing our children out to religious exploration. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious love. We hold you in our love as you go.
I invite you now to a time of meditation and prayer with these words by Harry Meserve. Let's begin by taking some mindful breaths and noticing your body being supported by the chair, by the earth, by the space inside and the space outside of your body. From arrogance, pompousness, and from thinking ourselves more important than we are, may some saving sense of humor liberate us. For allowing ourselves to ridicule the faith of others, may we be forgiven. For making war and calling it peace, special privilege and calling it tolerance, pollution and calling it progress, may we be cured. For telling ourselves and others that evil is inevitable while good is impossible, we stand corrected. God of our mixed up, tragic, aspiring, doubting, and insurgent lives, help us to be as good as in our hearts we've always wanted to be. Amen.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our stories from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share our shyness with sacred space, and the thought of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Today, I'd like to talk about a topic I think is important that doesn't get enough attention, and that is, I want to talk about spiritual dead ends. I think maybe all of us at some time in our lives might have gotten stuck in one of these spiritual dead ends, and I think it's a great tragedy that some of us get stuck for an entire lifetime in one or more of them. So let's talk about those spiritual dead ends. Let's start by thinking about some of the questions, these deeper existential questions that maybe we ask ourselves from time to time. Who am I? What is my life about? Whose am I? What should I be doing? How do I live a good life? What does it mean that I have these precious moments that will be gone? So people have given all kinds of answers to these questions. And right now people are adrift because those traditional answers don't have the truth that they used to in the hearts of many of us. One of my deepest beliefs is that our deepest identity, our deepest core, is to be the authentic human beings that we were meant to be. As the 19th century Unitarian theologian William Ellery Channing put it, we have within us a likeness to God. Or as the Quakers assert, we have within us a spark of the divine. Or as in Mahayana Buddhism, we carry a Buddha nature. That's who we are at our deepest selves. We are at our core and at our best compassionate, wise, loving, confident, and courageous. And that's an ability and a potential that is a birthright that we should nurture. A lot of what's happening today, and which is leading to the decay of our culture, is what philosophers call nihilism. Nihilism is a belief, maybe not an even articulated belief, that nothing matters. There's no meaning out there. There's nothing bigger than our own individual existence. You get to decide for yourself what to do, how to live. It's all up to you. It doesn't matter. Or as a bumper sticker says, life is hard and then you die. No wonder there's an epidemic of clinical depression. Is that really all that is, living only in accordance with our own whims and desires? Ram Dass, a spiritual teacher many of you know, talked about an approach to life that's expressed in the phrase, love, serve, and remember. So start with love as is it at the center in our purposes and principles. Start with love. Start by loving and affirming ourselves and our potential, loving others, loving the earth. And then serve. Serve other people, help them, make their lives better. Be generous. And finally, remember. Remember why you are here on this earth. Remember who you are at your depth. Some people would say, remember our deepest reality. Some people would say, remember God. But there is no particular theology required here. And many people can have the realization, no matter what their conception of ultimate reality is. In Hinduism, there's a word for this authentic part of ourselves. Sometimes in Western perspective, it's called a soul. But the word in Hinduism is Atman, A-T-M-A-N. And then there's this other reality, which is all that could be, contains everything, ultimate reality, the ground of being, called Brahman. And then there's a motto, Tatvamasi. It means you are that. Your individual core, your individual soul is part and parcel of all that is, of the ground of being. Your most authentic self is identical to that. There's a social psychologist named James Fowler who researched the different stages of faith. And of course, in order to do that, the first thing he had to do was come up with what he meant by faith. He had to come up with a pretty precise definition of faith. And, most of us, when we think of the word faith in terms of a religious context, we think of belief. We have, this is our faith, this belief, that belief. But Fowler points out that faith, the idea that faith equals belief is really a rather new use of the word. That the oldest definition of faith isn't about belief, and we still use it in this context. It's about trust. We have faith. I have faith in my friends. I have faith in my religion. I have faith in my spouse. What do you finally trust? So we get sidetracked, and people sometimes don't really know what their true faith is, what they really are trusting in their life. He gives some examples. He says some people could, for instance, could say, well, my faith is Catholic, but really they live for pleasure, so their hedonism is their faith. Or my faith is Presbyterian, or Really, they live to gather as many possessions as they can. So their faith is materialism. Finally, our faith is what we actually trust at our deepest core. And so, we can get sidetracked. We can trust the wrong things. We have faith where faith doesn't deserve to be, and these are the spiritual dead ends. And if we use our precious human moments to pursue these spiritual dead ends, then we haven't really lived. We waste our precious human birth. And there's a good bit of agreement among the great spiritual traditions of humanity about what these spiritual dead ends are. And my good late friend, Reverend Bill Half, talked about them in a clever way. He called them the 5 delusory P's. These are all words that start with P, so you can remember them. Possessions, power, prestige, profit, and pleasure. Okay, so let's establish, first of all, that these are not bad things in and of themselves. They actually could be good things in the right context, in the right place, but they can't be ends in themselves if we're to live our best life. And if we live as if they are ends in themselves, then we suffer and we don't realize the potential that we have. And it becomes really tragic when we make these things the purpose of our living. They don't survive the death of our body, and they don't lead to happiness when we're alive. They're not worth sacrificing a precious human birth for. All right, let's start with possessions. In our culture and our economy, our economy is really based on the desire for more and more and more stuff. So people who were always looking for more stuff, even people who have lots and lots and lots of stuff, are wanting more stuff. One of the best profit-making industries is storage units. Think about that. People have so much stuff that they don't have any room for all their stuff. We want more stuff, so we work harder so we can get stuff, we can get more stuff, we can get better stuff, and then we have a bunch of stuff. And we don't have enough time to play with our stuff, all our stuff, but we keep trying to get more stuff and working to earn more stuff, and then we pay a price. We ignore, say, our children, perhaps, our friends, our spouses, our families. We cut off options and choices in life that actually are more fulfilling. Too many people spend their time maintaining their possessions, for instance, their cars, their houses, their lawns, their collectibles, than they do maintaining their most important personal relationships, and then sometimes wonder what went wrong. Your possessions aren't going to matter at all after you die. It will go to Goodwill or an estate sale or put in the garbage. That beautiful human uniqueness that was your life will have been wasted if all of your life was all about stuff, because it just ends up being trash. Let's talk about power next. It's important to realize that we all have power. Sometimes we have power we don't even recognize, but it's obvious that power is unjustly divided in our world. And the search for power, living for power over everything else, is addictive. It's like a drug. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as the old saying goes. So all we need to do to prove this is to look at our political reality. Well, we have two sides, and we have the needs of the people that elected the two sides. And we watch in the news how much of the energy is going to dominate and defeat the other side much more than trying to solve the problems. Have you noticed? So power misused is very toxic. It causes a lot of suffering. And if we're addicted to power, then we can even fight to hold on to what little bit of power that we have. You know, maybe you've also had the ugly experience of having a bureaucrat abuse the little bit of power they have. Large amounts of power, misused, can leave shattered lives behind and harm civilizations. And then our current political reality shows that very clearly. But power by itself isn't bad. It's a good thing if it's used for the benefit of others and for the benefit of the whole. Power is good if it's shared. It's meant to be shared. And if we have a lot of power, maybe more than we recognize, more power, say, because of our position in life or our class position or our educational ability, attainment, or our profession, we can use that power by giving it away, by using that power for the greater good. So power then becomes a good thing. But unless we use that power to make the world a better place, then all that effort will not only be wasted, but it will cause a great deal of damage to the collective whole. Now let's talk about prestige, the third delusory P. Here we're talking about status and recognition, admiration. None of that's bad in and of itself. It feels good to be recognized, to get awards, to have people see your contributions. That's wonderful. We should enjoy that. But if our lives are devoted to gaining status, recognition, prestige, honor, academic degrees, titles, resume points, and the admiration of others, that's not enough. It's not enough. For one thing, it doesn't last. You know, our work can really live on and on in many ways, good and bad. But our names, not as long. And if we spend our lives being a human doing and not a human being, it can be miserable, because then we lose out on some of the most precious things that go along with being a human being, like deep relationships and friendships, the ability to appreciate the beauty all around us, the joy of creating for the sake of creating, of getting close and understanding the core of who we are. The next illusory P is money. You know, our culture lives for money and profits. Culturally, and in more and more circles, it's okay to set ethics and morality aside, to act cruelly and heedlessly, because the only goal, too often, is profit. People have won Nobel Prizes saying that. There used to be at least lip service to an ethic of goodness and morality and integrity in our economic lives, but it's more and more being replaced with the idea of the ethic of the marketplace. This profit motive, this market mentality that's taking over, is sacrificing so much of what people need to live a good life, or even to live at all. Even the planet, which cannot sustain this way of being, and the civilized quality of life which is necessary to thrive as human beings in human society, all sacrificed in the name of profit. The last delusory P is pleasure. Let it not be said that you came to church and heard a sermon against pleasure. Please, I did a whole series of sermons once on pleasure. I think pleasure is a good thing. In Buddhism, a human incarnation is good because it has just the right combination of pleasure and suffering to motivate people to strive for enlightenment. And sometimes I think that people who are too wrapped up in searching for prestige or profit or power, that they're not pleasure-loving enough. They don't take enough time to enjoy life, because life is a gift. Life is not a project. There's an old Jewish tradition that says that when we come to our final judgment, God will demand of us an accounting of all the healthy pleasures that we did not enjoy while we were alive. Think about that. But having pleasure as an end in itself is a spiritual dead end. First of all, pleasure doesn't last. We suffer when we try to make it stay beyond its time, or searching for it when it's no longer there. And there's too much temptation to use it in excess. Then we're talking about addiction. You know, things like alcohol, drugs, gambling, spending seem to be pleasurable at first, but if they take over our lives and make us helpless, then they become a tragedy for selves and others. We spend so much time grooming, feeding, and exercising our bodies and getting pleasure, but with our last breath, it's all gone. I love this metaphor. It's really an ancient and ubiquitous metaphor for who we are. It's the metaphor of the ocean and the wave. Have you heard it? Let me tell you about it. So a wave arises out of the depth of the ocean, and it's feeling its power. It is rushing toward the shore and feeling great. And then it sees its brother and sister waves crashing on the shore and dying, and it is afraid until it notices that who it really is the ocean itself. And it's simply a manifestation of that ocean. The ground of being, the source, the spirit. Our particular lives, our personalities, it's a beautiful, unique, and wonderful manifestation of that deep, deep source. We cannot leave the ocean. Despite time and death and space between the stars, we cannot fall out of the universe. And so we don't need to believe in a personal God or be a Buddhist to see that. We know we won't really be satisfied with anything but recognizing who we really are. The different ways that wisdom traditions have expressed it. We're made in the image of God. We have a divine spark. Our true being is a Buddha nature. Or in a humanist understanding, the virtuous life and understanding of being involved in the community of humanity, to love, to serve, and to remember who we are. Life is a gift. It is not a project. It is not a possession. Human life is an amazing opportunity, and it's more than that when we realize that we are a part of all that is. Amen.
Okay, you really got to rise and sing with me if you can and want to. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do, oh Lord. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. wanted to exit stage right. Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all of the funds for the operating budget ministries and programs of this church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUUC amplifies that spirit of generosity, sharing half the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we partner with the Gentle Barn. This August, the Gentle Barn is celebrating 27 years. Since 1999, they have helped heal animals and people through their nationwide movement across California and Tennessee, saving thousands of animals and welcoming over 1 million visitors to their pastures. They have cow hug therapy. To continue to saving those lives and expanding their sanctuary over the next 27 years, on their website they said they would love for you to donate 27 for 27. There are multiple ways in which you can support the church and this organization. You can mail a check, you can go through our website, you can use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can use that basket as it is passed. Just, the choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. As always, thank you for your generosity.
And as before, should you care to join in on the chorus, your voices are welcome. Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game. 16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town, and they tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet too slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the paint painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. So the years spin by and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams, and plenty before the last revolving year is through. One more time. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game. Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts we share. For peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
Okay, that one hit hard that time. Now is the time when we honor the important events in our lives. You're invited, one and all, whether you're a member, a friend, or a visitor, here to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. Let's take a deep breath. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. If you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you're invited to do so. If you're a roomer, you're invited to come forward and light a candle. If you'd like to share your joy or sorrow with everyone, you can write it out on a slip of paper provided and hand it to me, and I will read it out loud. If you're a Zoomer, you're invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat. And once the roomers are done lighting the candles, I will read all of the joys and sorrows shared out loud as Lori Kluge lights a candle for all the Zoomers. As music is played, I invite you to come forward or silently offer healing or celebration as you feel called and according to your own beliefs. Roomers, please come forward. have a lot today, and I'm glad. So we're going to go to it. Meg Wilson, Joy, Meg W, sorry. Special thanks to Amy T for having such a beautiful voice, and especially for today's rendition of Joni Mitchell's songs. Colleen Z at Joy, thank you. Elizabeth for bringing out the artist in me yesterday at your auction event, Paint Outside the Box. I had a great time. Bear hugs. Steve M has a Joy. Thank you to Prasanna and Melanie M for hosting a lovely Music Ministries potluck yesterday. Woo-hoo. Y'all understand y'all can be part of Music Ministries. We can use everybody, right? Right? It'd be fun. It would be funny one week if everybody were over there and nobody was out here. It'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Jamie and Jazzy would like to thank everyone that participated in the successful back to school drive. Woot woot. Dave C. Actually, this one's a sadness. I probably should have put this one a little later, but August 2nd is the birthday of both my mother and my brother. And I wish my relationships with them were such that I didn't have to miss them as much as I do, right? And Jamie and Jazzy again, we are celebrating our 34th anniversary on Tuesday! 34, wow. Patrick would like to thank everyone who helped make his move possible and every hand that contributed. He's still recovering and there's much to do, but very grateful. John K. Tomorrow, I complete my 87th loop around the sun. Still grateful for every day. Jeffrey, one of Joy, I attended my great friend's wedding and her celebration afterwards. It was a great time. Sarah J., there's another birthday tomorrow. Judith's birthday's tomorrow. Yay. Sarah J., Joy, Sarah's grandson Dominic turns 2 on Wednesday. Lots of birthdays. Brianna has a Joy. Her dear friend Maria, hearing my plea and showing up to cook healthy food for Finn when he was home recovering last week, and helped organize Elizabeth and Rachel to call and help show support. Finn had a great time at high school camp, but was taken to the emergency room on Wednesday morning, and the camp was cut short. He's making really healthy choices, though. Yes. Francie has a sorrow. It's been 8 years since my son Joel Coleman passed. He's in my heart and love always today. He's in my heart today. And Kara has joy, sorrow, and other. I suffer with military trauma and addiction and a recent relapse, and I'm asking for forgiveness and hope. Thank you. I am grateful to be sober and at peace today. Being here today provides me and my mother comfort and healing. Thank you for sharing, Kara. And then for my Zoomers today, I have... Actually, this wasn't in Joys and Sorrows, but I would like to reach out to Nathan, Nurse Nathan, who is joining us today from Kenya. A Joy from Sarah H. Spent 2 weeks with her sister and her husband in Marquette, Michigan. Also got to see her brother, who she doesn't get to visit with very often. So yay, Sarah. Linda, it's a gratitude, sort of between joy and sorrow, for all the loving condolences for the loss of her dear daughter on July 1st. And Kevin S. has a joy for his 2 beautiful and precious twin children. And Karen S. I'm sorry, it's also Kevin. This is okay. And another joy, my grandparents' 58th wedding anniversary, Una and Mateo. Yay. So we have lots of love, lots of birthdays, lots of things to deal with. It is a circle, right? Let us hold in love all the joys and celebrations and all the hurts and sadness, both spoken and silent. Let our joys remind us to be thankful, our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. Let all these moments remind us that we are not alone. Please join Lori Kluge in a spirit of prayer or meditation.
Go in peace. Live simply, gently, at home in yourselves. Act justly. Speak justly. Remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness. Speak the truth or speak not. Take care of yourselves as bodies, for you are a good gift. Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves. And go as you go with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. Amen.
Let us join together as we extinguish the flame of our chalice and say together, we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And thank you for joining us this morning. If you're a guest, a visitor, or someone who has not yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of this beloved community. If you would like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table right out front in the courtyard, or contact us at one of these many email addresses that we have. Someone will always be checking those. Zoomers, you're welcome to stay after and chat with one another online. We want everyone to feel a part of this beloved community. So please reach out and we will help you get connected. Now we have announcements. Let me switch my page. Here we go. We have several things going on this week. If you use your eyes, you can see them. If you cannot see them, if you cannot see that far, then I will point out a couple that are important. Well, they're all important. But the AHA group will not be meeting today, but instead will be meeting on Sunday, August 16th. AHA. The fiction book group will meet on Monday, August 3rd at 7 on Zoom to discuss Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Find the link on the church website and all are welcome. That was Anxious People. Writing group meets in the Victoria Room after church next Sunday at noon. Our UUAM group meets next Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on Zoom. So get your lunch, go back home, meet up. Find the link on the website. We have legacy bricks. We're going to be putting bricks out there with our names on them. Ta-da! Then we can step on each other in a good way. The stewards are selling engraved bricks that will be set in the courtyard with the proceeds going to the endowment fund. Reserve your legacy brick for a contribution of $300. Pick up a form at the programs table or see Sarah in the church office. And then this one's huge, y'all. Oh my gosh. We're going to be meeting up with Melanie DeMoore. She wrote one of the songs that we sing here all the time, Lead with Love. And she's going to do a choral workshop and a community sing-along, both on Saturday, August 22nd. So the workshop is from 10 to 1, no sheet music. She's a call and response type of teacher. You do not need to be a good singer. You can listen if you want to. You can mouth along if you can groove. But we want you there. You're going to have a great time. And then there's a sing-along at 7 o'clock that evening. And she's a composer, a conductor, and a vocal activist. So we would love for you to be there. I believe it was a while back, but I experienced her at Bull Run, and I think Arvid might have something to share about this. So thank you, and we'll see you in a while.
You don't want to miss Melanie DeMoore coming here. I participated in some of the events that she led in 2 congregations that I served, and she's going to raise the roof and rock this place, and you don't want to miss it. And if you think you aren't going to sing, you're wrong. Our benediction comes from the Zen tradition. Let me respectfully remind you that life and death are of ultimate concern. Time passes swiftly by and opportunity is lost. Wake up. Wake up. Do not squander your precious life.
Service is over. Let our service begin.